by donations from the following.
New Health. If you're ready to make a real difference in the lives of others, then you're invited to dive into a rewarding career at New Health. They're searching for passionate individuals to join their diverse healthcare team. New Health offers medical, dental, behavioral health, and pharmacy services to meet the needs of our communities. They're searching for passionate individuals to join their diverse healthcare team. You can be a part of a supportive and collaborative team who share a passion for making a positive impact. More information on open positions and applications can be found at newhealth.org/careers. New Health, bringing healthcare into communities and communities into healthcare since 1978.
KCHW thanks New Health for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Fired Up Pizza. Fired Up Pizza, located at 206 East Main Avenue in downtown Chewelah, offers craft beverages and brick oven-fired pizza, including a variety of sandwiches, salads, pasta, and homemade soups. Featuring weekly events such as bingo, karaoke, and live music. Fired Up Pizza also has space for your private event and offers both in-house and off-site catering services. Open daily at 11:30 a.m. for lunch and dinner. For more information, visit their Facebook page or contact Fired Up Pizza at 509-936-9121. Fired Up Pizza is a proud supporter of public radio in Stevens County.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChewelahFlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
102.7 FM, KCHW. Chewelah.
KCHW headlines. I'm Chuck Ritchie. Washington's Poison Control Center has put out an alert over some bargain cinnamon products. Unsafe levels of lead were found in Supreme Tradition ground cinnamon sold at Dollar Tree and Family Dollar stores. The center recommends checking your cupboards for the product since it has a long shelf life. Drones may soon help Washington clean up graffiti along state highways. The state has set aside $1 million for a Department of Transportation pilot program focused on finding new ways to erase spray paint from road signs, walls, and bridges. One of the solutions may use aerial drone technology to deal with the growing graffiti problem. A new survey has found poor outcomes for students with disabilities after high school. About a quarter of them don't find employment or enroll in higher education within a year. Students with autism or intellectual disabilities in particular are much more likely to not have a job or further education lined up after high school. Powerball and Mega Millions are back in the stratosphere. The jackpots for the country's 2 largest lottery games each hit near $1 billion at the same time. The Powerball jackpot for tomorrow's drawing is about $800 million, and tonight's Mega Millions is at $1.1 billion. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Chuck Ritchie. Good morning. It's a KCHW Morning Show. It is Wednesday, March 27th.
Oh, how did it get here so quickly?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy. I can't believe it's almost April already.
I know. And then it's going to be summer.
Right?
Yeah.
Before you know it, we had our first spring, and now we're looks like we're headed into our second spring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's crazy. So I'm Chuck Ritchie, and I'm here with the lovely Sharon Ludwig, joining us every Wednesday.
Yeah.
So welcome
for
back
our
to the show.
local day.
Yes. I love Wednesdays. And last week we had a really great show. Last week we brought in our Tom, our very own Dr. Jazz. And we
Yes.
had a lovely young lady from New York on here that was a fairly well-known name in the jazz industry.
Yeah.
She's a Broadway singer. She's toured with like Jeff Goldblum, and now she's got a new album out that was listed by the London Times, or the Times, I think they call it, as a jazz album of the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was pretty exciting to have her on the show. I really enjoyed that.
It was.
She messaged me. I don't mean to give out private information over the air, but she messaged me later and she said, "OMG, that was one of the best interviews I've ever done."
Oh, how fun.
Right here on KCHW.
Yeah.
I loved it. It really made my month, to hear her say that. So, and she was a friend of mine from school, so it was really enjoyable. I haven't seen her since she graduated a year early, and I hadn't seen her since junior year of high school. So
Oh,
that was
wow.
fun. That was really fun.
Oh, about 80 years ago, huh?
Yeah, about 80, 89, it's 85, I think, if you're counting correctly. Yeah.
And how did she not age?
Right? She looks
Yeah.
fantastic. Must be that New York pizza.
Maybe.
So let's go ahead and, speaking of the weather, let's go ahead and take a look at the weather for the next week here. Today we're looking at some showers in the morning. It's going to become a steady rain in the afternoon, and rain. It looks like we might get some pretty hard rain today with a high of 46 degrees, 39 degrees overnight. Tomorrow, 52 for a high, 37 for the low, but we might get some thunderstorms and more rain in the evening.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
And then we'll have to start mowing our lawns
I know.
because
I
the
know.
rain is going to make it just shoot up. Yeah.
I didn't mow my yard at all last year. It was
It was a jungle?
It was a jungle. Well, I've been trying to plant clover for 4 or 5 years now and try to get the clover to take over. And the clover only grows 3 or 4 inches and stops. And you don't. The point of it is you don't have to mow. The backyard was actually fairly successful. The front yard still just grass. And it did get pretty ugly. But now that everything's come back up again, it was so thick, and it's everything I've heard. This is the opposite of what should ever happen. It never died over the winter. It stayed green over the winter, and I don't know how that's even possible.
Huh.
And now that it's springtime and the weather's warming up, it's lush and green and already like 8 inches long.
Oh, my goodness.
And it defies all logic. It shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
There's a little bit
Yeah.
of dead grass on top from last year, but it's alive and it's a monster already, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I guess I should have been more on top of things last year. But, Anyway, moving on. Sorry about that.
We kind of got sidetracked,
Right?
didn't we?
That's okay. So Friday, 52 degrees for your high, 33 for the low, with some clouds in the morning, and then the sun's coming out in the afternoon. The temperatures are starting to come up on Saturday over the weekend. It's going to be mostly sunny on Saturday with a high of 56, 32 degrees overnight. Then Sunday, 60 degrees. We're going to hit 60 again. And
how fun.
And have a sunny Sunday with a low of 35. And then next Monday, 66 and 42. And then Tuesday, again, 66 and 42 with partly cloudy skies both day. So,
Nice.
Yeah, so that's, again, climbing up close to that 70-degree mark.
Yeah, yeah.
And last week when it was nice, when the weather was warm, those high temperatures pretty regularly hit above where it was supposed to be. I think we had one day, I had a thermometer on my front porch. I don't know how accurate that is, but it was up at like 72, 73 degrees one of those days.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we have several thermometers around, and none of them are the same. So you never really know what temperature it really is.
Depends on whether you're in the shade or, or out in
exactly.
the sun.
Yep.
Yeah. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get to the school breakfast and lunch menu. So today for breakfast, the schools have a cheese omelet, a variety of cereal with fresh fruit juice, and their choice of milk with breakfast. And then on the lunch menu, it is a turkey ham sub. It says turkey ham sub or turkey sub. Maybe it's a choice of turkey and ham or just plain turkey.
Probably ham that's made out of turkey.
There you go.
Turkey ham.
There you
as
go.
opposed to some other kind of ham.
Do you have a favorite sub sandwich?
No.
No. I like, there's the popular fast food sub restaurant. I always like the what is it, the BMT. It's like the Italian version. It's got all the different Italian meats on it.
Oh yeah, I like that one too.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good
that's
stuff.
really good.
Or a good Cuban. I'm a big fan of a Cuban. I don't know if that's legally considered a sub,
Oh.
but it's usually on a roll. I don't know. So do you know what a Cuban sandwich is?
No.
So a Cuban sandwich is like shredded pork, cheese, a ton of pickles, and a ton of mustard. And it's one of my favorite things in the world. I made a Cuban quesadilla the other day that was mind blowing. So good.
And my favorite sandwich is a Reuben.
Oh yeah.
But they don't have those at Subs. But that is my favorite as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Reuben's good. I like to go light on the sauerkraut though.
Yeah. Oh really?
So anyway, I again got distracted. With the sun chips, a variety of sun chips, fresh veggies, fresh fruit, Teddy Grahams, chocolate Teddy Grahams with that.
Oh.
Yeah, and your choice of milk.
Yep.
There we go. So do you have anything you want to talk about before we get going here, or do you want to just get up?
Do we have birthdays? Do we do that now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do those. Yeah.
I just saw the calendar there, so I just.
Well, we only have one name on our calendar today, and that is Jonah Kraus.
Oh.
Jonah Kraus. Happy birthday, Jonah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you recognize the name?
I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
do.
Sharon knows everybody around here.
Well, he's kind of like a grandkid.
I think Chihuahua is kind of like a grandkid to you, Sharon. Or a sister.
Yeah.
Or a brother.
Or we're all the aunties and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Will you be my honorary auntie?
Oh, sure.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. You can't have too many of those. That's for sure. So let's go ahead and just move on to bits and breaks and take a look at what we have here today.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So these are 5 odd food superstitions.
Okay.
I know a lot of different cultures have their different, traditions, traditional meals at certain things, and some of them do relate to superstition. So hollow bread, it was once and perhaps still is a superstition that if you found a hole in a loaf of bread when you cut it, it symbolizes a coffin, and that meant someone would soon die. Wow. If a person found a loaf in the state, there would be days of discussion to guess who it might be that would be stricken down.
I have never heard of that.
I mean, don't most loaves have a hole in it somewhere?
Somewhere, especially if you homemade. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty harsh.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
All right, go ahead, Sharon.
Okay, eggshells. It was once a superstition that if you did not crush the ends of the eggshell after eating it, a witch would gather the shells and use them to craft a boat that she could use to sail out to sea to raise storms. Wow. This is a very ancient superstition which seems to originate in the 1580s. If you shattered the end of the shell, it would create enough holes to make it useless as a boat. That is just crazy. Those were really small witches if they could fit in an eggshell.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess if they were like fairy witches or something, maybe.
Maybe.
Or did they lash all the eggshells together?
I don't know.
That's interesting. The next one here is salt, and there's a lot of story behind this. It says we all know the superstition surrounding the spilling of salt, but here's a slightly more unusual one. It used to be considered bad if you helped another person to the salt. There was even a little phrase that evolved from the superstition: "Help to salt, help to sorry."
That is odd.
That's interesting. And so one of the I'm going to nerd out here for a minute because I find salt it's kind of a boring, a very dull thing that I've got very interested in at one point in my life. The history behind salt is really, really fascinating, and the tossing your salt over your shoulder for good luck came from salt. Used to be a very valuable commodity.
Right. They traded it and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was before our modern distillation techniques with using salt water to get essentially unlimited amounts of salt. It used to be mined, very specifically mined, and they had to find salt deposits underground that they would mine. And salt was considered so valuable that if you spilled it, you had to pick a little bit of it up, throw it over your shoulder for good luck. The phrase "not worth your salt" used to be from the salt mines. Salt was so valuable; it was almost as valuable as gold. And this was even in early America, where the workers in the salt mines would actually get paid in salt.
Oh my!
And if they didn't meet their quotas for their salt mines, they weren't worth their salt.
Oh.
So they would get paid their salt, but they didn't.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. Go
Okay.
ahead and tell us about
Tea
that.
rituals. It used to be considered bad luck for two people to pour tea from the same pot. In addition, if you left the lid off the teapot while brewing tea, it was meant to mean that a stranger would soon visit.
Would that stranger have cookies?
I don't know. Yeah, Girl Scout cookies. Oh,
Because, I mean, if they came knocking on the door, we could say
Yeah.
Girl Scout cookies. It's fine.
oh, okay.
If they came knocking on my door, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
As long as I had cash.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
there's-
maybe maybe this is why teapots are so little. So each person had to have their own pot.
You know, there's nothing wrong with being accosted by a Girl Scout selling cookies and not having cash on you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they don't take credit. They don't take debit cards.
No, and somebody the other day said something about they had Samoas, and we're all going, "Oh, bring us some," you know.
Yes. It's the season is upon us, isn't
Yes,
it?
I believe they're out there peddling their wares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. I'm gonna find some. All right. If you let us know if there's a place to find cookies in town. I've been in a Safeway quite a few times recently, and I haven't seen anybody out front.
Huh.
I was wondering if I missed them.
Yeah.
I saw them closing down their table one day, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it or not. I figured, next time I come, I'll get some. But then there hasn't been anybody back there
yeah.
when I've been at the store. But
Well, and those best little sales girls, they have their list, and they go back to the same people every year. So,
yes, Yes,
you get
they
on
do.
somebody's list, and they just get to you every year.
smart little cookie peddlers.
That's true.
Okay, so in many parts of Europe, farmers would take a fresh egg into the fields in the hopes that it would bring a good healthy crop. I wonder if there's science behind that, or would they just carry them in the fields with them, or would they like plant them and
I
use them
hope
as
they
fertilizer?
didn't put them in their pockets and then accidentally break them. Because that wouldn't be any good luck.
I mean, I know the egg shells themselves are good for gardening. So
Right,
if you
right.
brought them out in the field and
Yeah,
you know,
because we put eggshells in our compost. Yeah.
yeah, I could see the kids going out and having egg fights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to do this next one? This next one might be a little personal topic. We were talking before the show started about parents splitting up and that, and this one's a little sensitive.
Oh, we can talk about it.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do it. So this could be very personal for someone on the show or someone listening. It is about meeting up with parents who have left. So kind of a little serious topic here. So this woman asked on social media, she said, my dad left my mom when I was 3. My mom struggled so much when I was growing up, and she had to do everything to give me good opportunities. The whole time I always believed it was my father's fault and saw him as a villain. She's now 24 years old and seeing him for the very first time and doesn't know how to act. She has to see him because there's legal documents that need to be done, and they both need to be present for it. And the question is, what advice would you give her? And anybody listening on Facebook, you can go ahead and chime in and give your 2 cents. And this is asking if anybody has any experience with a parent who left.
Well, when I was 9, my folks were divorced, and as an older teen, as a young grown-up, I remember my mother saying that he hadn't turned over a new leaf; he'd turned over a whole new book.
Oh,
So that meant he'd changed so much, and
Yeah.
so, she always. She never said bad things about him. She didn't want us kids to think bad of him because he was our
Good.
dad.
Yeah.
You know?
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't have experience with this, but I know my current spouse's ex. We had some issues, early on when we were dating and when we first got married. But since then, we've managed to put all that behind us and have
Yeah.
a good, fairly healthy relationship. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen some posts recently about this and people trying to struggle with their parents and fathers trying to come back into their life after so many years and
Oh yeah.
the children saying no, you're not, I have a father,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and it's not you.
Yeah.
And
'Cause a father is somebody who raises you.
yeah
Yeah.
it's a tough thing, and I know sometimes maybe I'm not defending fathers that abandon
Right.
their kids at all, but I would imagine at some point you get past that point of no return where it's like you're embarrassed to come back, or it's been
Oh,
so
yeah.
long that you're like, well, I can't now because
Yeah.
I'm the jerk now, Or maybe some people are just jerks and they don't care. So.
Well, and I don't know if Chihuahua is unique or if every small town has it, but you'll go to a basketball game and Mom and her boyfriend's on one side of the gym and Dad and his new wife's on the other side of the gym. And, and it's like, and they all stay here in Chihuahua to be around their kids and their families, and yet they're no longer married. You know, I just find it very interesting. Yeah.
You know, I've ran into a couple. I've seen a couple, and I've actually seen stories. One famous one that's been talked about lately is Demi Moore and Bruce Willis. They stayed like best friends after their divorce. And I've heard that from a few people that their exes, they really stayed friends, and they they weren't compatible as a romantic couple, but as friends they were still able to hold on and maintain a friendship, which I think would be really cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to a happier subject, and let's talk about basic things we're really bad at.
Okay.
So I'll go. Do you want me to go ahead and take this one?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, there really isn't something to talk about here, but it's this is a question for our listeners and a question for I guess us right here in the studio. Things that we are really bad at doing that are really, really basic things.
Oh, like people who don't know how to do laundry.
Yeah. Or I guess people that know how to do it but just don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think in this day and age, there are people that don't know how to cook. And to me, that's considered basic. Mm-hmm. I was visiting somebody once, it was years and years ago, and the two were saying, well, where should we eat tonight? And it was like it was a common thing that every night they ate somewhere different, and they didn't do any cooking at their house. So, some people that's pretty basic to me, is cooking.
I think we have problems with planning that part. I mean, we don't eat out very often because it's expensive, and generally, especially around here, the restaurants are closed by the time we ever think about dinner. But yeah, we have a hard. Usually, a lot of time it's hey, go to the store and get something to make for dinner. Or stop by on the way home and get something for dinner.
Yeah.
And whether that's ingredients or something that we can throw in the air fryer.
Or sometimes it's like popcorn and peaches, and that's dinner.
Yeah, right. a box of mac and cheese and some cheddar cheese ruffles. Yeah, no, and there are times when we've tried to put together a whole menu, before we go shopping, and then we'll put together the menu, and then we'll put together all the ingredients for that menu. But then what ends up happening is we'll buy ingredients that we already have at home. Oh. Like a tub of sour cream when there's already a full tub of sour cream in the fridge, and then one of those is going to go bad because we can't eat it that fast. Or we end up with like $500 worth of groceries, and we have so many groceries that we can't possibly eat it all.
Oh yeah. And
then the menu planning all goes to heck because you're trying to stay on it, but you're like, ooh, I could use these ingredients to make this, and you make something else, and all of a sudden that takes ingredients from 2 or 3 of your menu items.
Yeah, I did menus. We raised 6 kids.
Yeah.
And at times we had foster kids and other, so we had a big household. Mm-hmm. And we got paid once a month. Teachers get paid once a month. Mm-hmm. And so at the beginning of the month, I would do menus and bought things for the menus. And it was posted in the kitchen, and the kids could look at it and knew what we were having. And it worked very well for me, but I don't do menus anymore. There's 2 of us. You open the refrigerator and you look and you go,
what can we make?
What can we have tonight? Yeah.
I like to pretend that life is like the TV show Chopped, the cooking competition.
Oh yeah.
Where you just kind of you get a basket full of random ingredients and think, what can I make with this?
Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty much dinner night at the Ritchie household every night.
Yeah.
But I did. You mentioned laundry, and the other day I was excited because I'd done a load of laundry the other day that was just mine. Which is rare, usually I throw in kids' laundry or some of my wife's, and this one was just mine. And I had a full load of laundry that was just mine. It was everything I like to wear, and I was excited because I had this full entire load of laundry that was just mine. So, especially socks. And my kids are at an age now where they can wear my socks. They fit them.
Yeah.
And so I'll get my socks all laid out, and then I'll go to open my drawer, and all my socks are gone. That I just washed. Yeah. Anyway. If you're listening on Facebook, go ahead and drop us a line and let us know some basic things that you're terrible at, so we can we'll come back around to it later and
Sounds
have a good laugh. All right, go ahead, Sharon.
Happy birthday, Lucky Charms. Just guess how old Lucky Charms are.
I don't know. How old do you want me to guess? Because I'm looking at it on the screen.
I'm looking at it too.
Tell us how old they are.
They are 60. They just turned 60. In 1964, John Holohan, a vice president and developer at General Mills, took Cheerios, added Brock's Circus Peanuts candy, and then poured some milk. Well, that's kind of different, isn't it?
I don't know about the Circus Peanuts. Those things taste a little bit like styrofoam.
Yeah. Lucky Charms was the first ever cereal to include marshmallows. The freeze-dried marshmallow bits that put the charm in Lucky Charms are referred to in the cereal biz as Marbits.
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 It sounds like
48
something a frog would say. Marbit.
Yeah. 48% of all Lucky Charms consumed are enjoyed by those 18 and over. Adult fans of Lucky Charms tend to wax nostalgic about their favorite breakfast cereal. They probably associate it with that silly commercial,
Right?
Wasn't that a rabbit or something?
It was Lucky. The rabbit was Trix. Lucky was I think his name was Lucky. Lucky the Leprechaun.
Oh, okay.
Is the Lucky
Yeah, was
Charms
always
guy.
trying to get the Lucky Charms.
Yeah, the kids were always trying to get the Lucky Charms from him.
From him. Oh, okay. See, I got my commercials all backwards.
The Trix rabbit was always trying to get the Lucky Charms from the kids, and it was Silly Rabbit Tricks are for kids.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Lucky Charm, the kids were always trying to get his cereal.
Yeah.
My favorite cereal for sure, Lucky Charms.
Really?
Oh yeah, hands down. It's it's a thing since childhood. You know the best thing in the world to do with Lucky Charms? Put it on your ice cream.
Oh, yeah. We used to
Yeah.
buy their chocolate Cocoa Puffs, and we put those on ice cream always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cereal is the best ice cream topping, and it's
Yeah.
it's always overlooked. But there's something about the Lucky Charms in particular. You put it on just plain vanilla ice cream, and it's no longer ice cream or Lucky Charms. It's its own sort of unique brand of magic.
Special treat.
Yeah. So the next one here, is it wrong to share a drink at a restaurant? I don't. Why would it be wrong to share a drink at a restaurant?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. So this one, a couple shared a video of the two of them at Chili's sharing a drink. The couple ordered one drink to split during their date night. They also split a water. They say getting one drink. Oh, here we go. One drink which comes with free refills is a small way to save money.
That seems kind of cheap to me.
Yeah. I thought they were talking about like an alcoholic beverage where, if you don't want a whole drink or sometimes you just want to have a little bit, then that's fine to share. But
Yeah. I don't share drinks with anybody. I just have a phobia about it. You'd take a drink out of my pop or whatever I've got. I probably won't drink another drink of it.
No, that's fair. I get that. I get that. There are times when I'll look over, my kid will be like, I don't mind too much really, but like kid will be picking up my water bottle and taking a drink or something, and I'm like, hey, did you ask me permission first? So, yeah. All right. So don't scroll down to the trivia because we're going to do that a little bit later.
Okay.
What time is it? It is 7:45. All right, 7:45. Everybody, let's go ahead. Do you want to do some local stuff before the break or after the break?
Sure. I've got a lot going
Yeah.
on today. All right. Today, of course, we have pickleball at the old middle school. And somebody told me last week that within the last week or two, they did one session up at the golf course. But they were back at the middle school. So if there's any pickleball enthusiasts out there, and when they do start at the golf course, let us know because we don't want to send people to the wrong place to play pickleball.
Right.
Especially on Wednesdays when it's for new people.
Right.
Yeah. So they're not new people; they're beginners at pickleball.
I wonder if they're going to retain that gym space. So say it's raining or something. Yeah,
I don't know.
If they could like just sort of impromptu, sort of on the spot, move it over to the gym.
Yeah.
That might be nice.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah. Of course, like I have my daughter-in-law or my son-in-law. He says he grew up over on the coast. He says we played baseball in the rain. Why don't they play here? Because I guess when you live over on the coast, you learn to do everything in the rain. So
Right.
we shut things down over here in the rain.
Do we stop baseball games here for rain?
It depends on what it does to the field.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
you
like
don't want to tear up the field.
Yesterday they stopped the baseball game because of hail.
Yesterday?
Yeah, it was down at Reardon, I guess.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't remember hail here yesterday. But
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But Chewelah was ahead 8-0, so it was okay.
At that point, did they call the game and declare the win, or is it?
Yeah, they
okay.
did. It was a doubleheader, and we won both of them.
Oh,
I
nice.
believe. And one of my grandsons hit a home run over the fence.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, we didn't watch the game, but we listened to it. They have it on. You can listen to it on Game Changer, so we listened to it.
And what age group? What age group is this?
High school.
High school. Okay.
High school.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah. So also today are Cougar tennis at Lake Roosevelt, Cougar JV baseball at Lakeside, Center for the Arts sit and knit from 2 to 4. Now I have Fired Up Pizza bingo. Is that still on Wednesdays? Because there was something you told me last week that we didn't have anymore, and I didn't have a pen.
I believe so. There's a little bit of a. I think something's different than what's on the calendar for their karaoke night, and I know they're still doing it, but I'm not sure what nights those are. So
okay. So then tomorrow, Thursday, March 28th, unless you have anything else for today.
Let's see. We've got the. I was looking at the wrong one. There's Tech Help at the Chewelah Library from 3 to 4 p.m. today.
And so if you don't have a 5-year-old in your house to help fix your phone, you go to the library and get that help.
Exactly. If you'll notice, the screen you're looking at, Sharon, is a little easier to see now. It's not as blown up and weird looking.
Okay.
And the menu options are on the left when previously you had to scroll all the way down to find them.
Oh, yeah.
I had a teenager in here yesterday that was looking at that screen, waiting for me to finish up work, and was like, "Dad, why is this screen so weird looking? It looks like something that was around before I was born." Like, it's hard to look at, Dad.
Yeah.
So yeah, he fixed it for me and got it so you can see all the menu options on there.
Good. Yeah. Tomorrow, Thursday, March 28th, line dancing at the Chewelah Center, Senior Center from 2:30 to 4:30. There is a business after-school event, and let me tell you about that.
Yeah.
That is from 5:45 to 7:30. Now, it is in Colville at the New Health Colville Center, but students will get to meet professionals from our team, including medical doctors, medical assistants, operations, IT, pharmacists, dentists, dental assistants, and dental hygienists. They'll get to explore 6 different stations to learn about the education and training needed for each role, and they'll discover what a typical day looks like for those roles, and they can ask questions. And I believe this is a free event that is being put on by New Health, and that's in Colville at 358 North Main Street, and it's from 5:45 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. for any high school that are curious about going into the world of healthcare.
Okay, I'll have to call the folks at New Health about that. They are one of our sponsors here at the station.
Yeah.
They do pretty great work. I know they're hiring. We have in our sponsorship announcements, we have a little information about what they're looking for employees.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This must be part of that. I will reach out to them after we're done with the show. And
so I'll give you the flyer to keep.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I have it right here.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be really great. And I know one of their pushes here is to educate local people to stay here in Chewelah and work in healthcare right here in Chewelah. And they've got some big stuff.
And don't they work throughout the tri-counties? The 3 counties, Stevens, Ponderay, and Ferry.
I believe they do.
I think they do.
Yeah.
And so, but that's a really good thing if you're interested in the health care.
Yeah, they've got some funding. I believe it has been confirmed, and I know we had them on the radio show one time talking about it. The old middle school is going to be turned into a New Health educational facility.
Yeah, kind of a university.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think will be huge for the area.
Yes, and this might be just to see the interest that's out there, too. Also tomorrow, we have lots of sports. Cougar golf at Wilbur, Cougar softball at Riverview at Finley. Cougar baseball at Riverview. There is no school tomorrow for the Chewelah school kids.
Oh?
It's parent conferences.
Oh, that's right. That's
and
right.
so your parents should be going to school, not you. You get to stay home. Yeah. And tomorrow is the deadline for the film entries for the 2024 Pacific Northwest Filmmakers Showcase. Entries are due. The festival isn't till May 23rd, but if you've been working on a film and you've thought about entering it, tomorrow's when you got to have it in. And I understand we have some local filmmakers that are involved in that.
Yeah. I'm actually I'm on screen in a couple of those that are being entered. Yeah, so that's kind of fun.
And so if you will be on the big screen at the AutoView Drive-In.
Yes.
In May. Yeah.
You know, that happened last year. I was in a little short film that was presented at that same film festival last year. And to see yourself at the drive-in, there's something about a drive-in that is just, I still find magical. You know, I wasn't able to go to them as a kid. It wasn't until I was an adult that I went to my first one. But that magic is there.
Yeah.
And I just, huge fan of drive-ins.
Yeah. I can remember being a little kid and we had this Nash automobile and then the back seat folded into the trunk. Mm-hmm. And my dad had folded it down. And we'd all be in our pajamas, and we'd go to the drive-in.
Yep.
And then when we got tired, you know, I don't know if he folded it down when we started or when we got. But anyway, we'd lay down and we'd sleep. And when we got home, they just put us to bed, you know, because we were already in our jammies.
Well, I know when my wife and I were on our honeymoon, we were in the Gatlinburg, Tennessee area up in the Smoky Mountains, and not even thinking about it, we were there 4th of July weekend. And trying to find a hotel room in one of the busiest tourist areas of the country. Even if you could afford it, because the prices go sky high that weekend, you can't. Every room in the area is booked up 6 months in advance for something, because they have a huge 4th of July parade and fireworks and this great big celebration.
So did you camp in your car?
Yeah, well, then we had this tiny little cramped, uncomfortable rental car, and we were tired and we were looking around. We're like, oh my goodness, we can't find anywhere to stop. And anywhere in that area, you will be stopped by the police if you pull over in a rest area or a turnout or anything for more than a few minutes. You know, they'll tell you to move along. You can't sleep anywhere, rest stops or anything. So we were looking around and we looked in the paper. We found a local paper, and they were showing 4 movies back to back at the local drive-in theater. And so we're like, okay, there's our hotel room for the night. They had dollar burgers. It was like I think it was like $5 or $6, $7 for the car, and it ended up,
What a memory!
Yeah, the two of us had dinner and watched some movies, and then fell asleep, and for like $10 total for the night. And then when they knocked on the window the next morning when the sun was up and told us to go, we went on our way and went and enjoyed the parade.
Oh, how
fun!
Yeah,
it was a great night, and that's a memory I'll always cherish. And that was my first time ever at a drive-in theater.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, then Friday, March 29th, adult pickleball again, 9 to 11:30. Mm-hmm. There is no Chewelah Chamber. Normally we tell you there's chamber meetings, but it's a 5th Friday, and they don't have Chamber of Commerce meetings on a 5th Friday. They just have them the first 4. So, 4 times a year there's no Chamber of Commerce meeting.
I'd be interested. We talked about food superstitions earlier. Are there any, 5th Fridays? That seems like that should be some sort of either good luck or bad luck or something.
I don't know.
Maybe we could make one.
Yeah. Cougar track will be at Deer Park. Cougar tennis for the girls only will be home against Colville. And no school for Chewelah because it's parents' conference. Mm-hmm. So the tennis team, I don't know how they're doing this year, but they're going to be at home. So if you like tennis, go watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday, the Chewelah Farmers Market is having a opening meeting for people who are interested in displaying or selling at the farmers market, and it would be for food, crafts, all kinds of things that you see at the farmers market. And they're having a meeting Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Fellowship. That's this Saturday.
Yeah, and so they sent me a little information about that. I've got a.
Okay,
do you have the
good.
poster for it?
I do have
Okay, okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's trying to make me download it. It won't let me just look at it. There it is. Yeah. So you said that's at the Abundant Life Fellowship.
Right.
That's on Clay. Yeah, and they're looking for volunteers. They're looking for vendors. Anybody that just wants to find out about our farmers market. I know we've got some. It's a husband and wife team that are going to be managing the thing this year. We're all really excited to have them. I met them over the weekend. Really, really lovely couple. We talked about some of the ideas and some of the stuff that's going on this year, and I think they're really going to do a great job.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm excited for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good to have change in leadership. It's
Yeah.
You just get new ideas and everything. Also, let's see, Saturday, the Kiwanis is having their Easter egg hunt this Saturday, and they have for ages 0 to 4, 5 to 7, and 8 to 12. And I believe they have different locations for those ages, and it's at the high school football and track field. They call that Snyder Field. It says, come early to find your child's age group.
Yeah.
And the time is at 11 a.m. So it's going to be warm enough. It's not like 8 o'clock in the morning.
And I've actually had a couple people asking me if I know about this, and I tell them about it. And so if anybody's curious, yes, there is an Easter egg hunt this year, and that's it.
Yeah, and I believe at Chamber they had said how many eggs they'd filled with candy, and some have money and different things, Yeah, so
I was just going to ask if any had money.
I think so. I think that's what Dale was saying. Dale Storer was talking about the Kiwanis had been getting all geared up for that.
There's a story behind why they hide money, but it's a pretty gruesome one and not one we're going to talk about on the radio.
Okay, so if you want to know, you look it up, you Google it.
Yeah, it's not a fun story, folks.
So then we have also on Saturday, Cougar Baseball is at home. So if you wanted to see our baseball team, now the first couple of games, they did not win, but they played schools that were not in our league. They were above our league.
Oh, wow.
Hard schools.
Yeah.
And yesterday's games, they won. So I think they're going to be a really good team. Of course, one grandson hit 2 triples and one grandson hit that home run. So
that's
over
awesome.
the fence. So and their dad is the coach. So.
That's great.
Yeah. And Saturday is Fired Up Pizza's finest karaoke, as far as I know.
Oh, actually, that's. I need to talk with Carrie about that one because I'm not sure that one's
okay.
happening
Okay. So we
anymore.
need to find out about the Fired Up Pizza's schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's also, up at 49, there is a music, food, and fun. And it is March 30th and 31st. I don't have a time on this flyer. It just says playing live this weekend. Just Right, ASM, The Spins, Kaylin Wolf, and The Shift. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm out of the loop, and I have no idea who any of those people are or any of those groups.
Well, I would like to find out.
Yeah, it says see the lineup and the menu at www.ski49n.com. And so, it's called Out Like a Lion. So it must be because March is out like a lion, and then spring. There's some saying about that.
Yeah. No, that sounds right.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Hopefully, I've seen pictures. Speaking of that, I hadn't even noticed it before I was walking into my house yesterday, and I haven't cleaned up my garden, my flower garden in front of my house since last year yet. It's not ready for spring, but I have a bunch of my flowers that are in full bloom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just I don't know what they're called. They're gorgeous. I don't know what they are, but they are full bloom flowers right now.
My crocuses are blooming. The daffodils and tulips are up 6 to 8 inches, but there's not even any buds on them yet.
Now, what do crocuses look like? Can you describe
They're
them?
little short, and they just have a little tiny flower on them.
Oh,
They're
okay.
just really cute. I have yellow ones and purple ones.
Yeah, these are blue. They're on a stem, and they have they almost look like, you ever seen those long grapes? Those long skinny grapes?
Yeah.
They almost look like those hanging off of them.
Huh.
They're like these long dangly things that sort of, they go on opposite sides of each other, so there's two of them.
You'll have to bring a picture, and we'll have
I'm having
to
a
look
hard time
at it.
describing it, but
Yeah.
And they're gorgeous.
Okay, and then Sunday, March 31st, is Easter, and we're music, food, and fun at 49 again.
Mm-hmm.
There's an Easter brunch buffet at Rusty Putter.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, it's really hard. You know, I must be old, but I have a hard time reading posters that have black backgrounds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I don't know why a lot of them do that nowadays. But anyway, at their bar and grill from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., it says create your own omelet bar, biscuits and gravy, French toast casserole, mini maple waffles, sausage, bacon, scrambled eggs, quiche, hash browns, yogurt parfaits, fresh green beans, maple pecan mashed. I'm getting hungry.
Right? You better get there before
Sweet
we do.
potatoes, applewood smoked ham, and fresh fruit and pastries. So, and if it's a buffet, that must be all on the buffet. Wow.
That's quite the spread.
Yeah. And I can't tell what the price. Looks like it's 20 is, maybe you can read this bar.
All right, let me see.
It's right across there, how much it costs.
Oh, you know what? We probably shouldn't talk about the prices.
Oh, we can't talk about the prices.
That's fairly reasonably priced, yeah.
Okay,
That's good.
okay, I'm sorry. That
That's
would
okay.
be an advertisement,
No,
wouldn't it?
yeah, that's fine. That's
okay.
fine. They are our sponsors, but yeah, I know I've never been disappointed by
Yeah, but also,
eating
if you
there,
don't
so.
want to drive all the way to the golf course, you can drive out to the Mystiquois Casino, and they're having an Easter brunch from 9 to noon.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's on their menu. I didn't print it. I don't know. So.
There you go. I know we were invited. They did a sort of a press thing for the grand opening of the hotel over there, and I was invited to go and check that out. And it's a gorgeous facility.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to go, but I had to go to Spokane for an appointment, so I missed that. But I saw the pictures.
Yeah.
And it looked really impressive.
It really is. It's
Yeah.
really, and gosh, some our area really needed is a I love our local places to stay. You know, we've got the motel and RV park, and
Right.
but yeah, it's the Nordlig, but there's been a lot of times when there have been events that people wanted to do that they couldn't because there was just simply not enough places to
Yeah.
facilitate the people that they
Rooms.
needed.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yep.
so it's cool to have that.
Yep.
I'm
So
excited.
next Monday is adult pickleball
Mm-hmm.
and sit and knit at the center. Tuesday I don't have anything going on, and Wednesday we have pickleball and bingo at Fired Up Pizza, if that's correct. Now coming up, let me see if there's anything.
And while you're looking up that, so tomorrow the food
Okay.
bank is open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Oh, good.
here in town. Yeah.
Good.
And that is in front of the senior center. And then immediately after the food bank, or 30 minutes after the food bank closes for the day, that's when the line dancing starts at the senior center right behind.
Yeah, and after that, this spring and April, almost every day there's some kind of cougar sports. That's Chewelah Jenkins Cougars. And so you can go on the Chewelah school site and find out the schedule. And I do check it every time before I come in because there were some things added. And there was like one game that was changed from an away game to a home game.
Okay.
And so I double check. But if you want to see our local sports teams, there's a lot of stuff coming up. Then there's just a couple of things that I want to highlight. Coming up April 13th, the Creative District's annual membership meeting is coming up.
Yes, that is correct.
And next week we'll give you times and details.
And I know that one is going to be a little more than just the annual meeting. We're asking for members and people from the public to come. And it's going to be sort of a public input session to sort of gauge our impact so far and where the public would like to see us head in the future and share some of our ideas that we have moving forward. And some really great collaborative things that the Creative District's working on. And yeah.
And that's kind of it's an overlap of Chewelah citywide cleanup. So you can go to the cleanup and then you can go to the district, your
Yes.
Creative District meeting. So you can hit both of them.
And I would like to have. I'm going to reach out. I talked with the the young lady that was in charge of that over the weekend, and I interviewed her on the air, and she gave us some information during the Home and Garden Show about the citywide cleanup. And there's, they've got really great stuff. I know they're going to have full rollout dumpsters that are going to be free to the public. You can come and as much as you want, as much as you can carry.
Yep, and I actually printed their flyer, and it's April 13th, and you're right about they're going to have, it's a recycling event, and it says you can bring appliances, tires, scrap metal, mattresses, car batteries, latex paint, and furniture. But they have to be separated because they will have separate roll-offs for the different donations.
Right. Right.
Yeah. But they aren't accepting household garbage, liquids, glass, plastics, electronics, solvents, and motor oil.
Okay.
So.
Well, I know motor oil you can actually dispose of at Napa.
Oh.
Yeah, they have
know.
a motor oil disposal thing behind there. So
if you change your own oil, that's that's good. Also on that Saturday, they're having a free barbecue for all those who are helping, and so at noon. So that's good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I know I discussed with her because we have the annual Creative District convening happening in June. We're going to sort of do a impromptu sort of makeshift smaller second one before that, so we can really get everything nice and polished up before we have representatives from all over the state coming to see how awesome Chewelah is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And then coming up, this is the time of year where it keeps popping up that there's different scholarships. So if you have a senior, grandchild, or a child, make sure they're checking in with their counselor at school. They're checking out on Facebook. We have the Arts Guild has a scholarship coming up. Chokes and Spokes has one. The Lions Club just announced it. They have a $1,000 scholarship.
Ooh.
And its deadline is May 1st. And so most of the time with scholarships, you do the basics, and with a computer, you save the basics because most scholarships want the same information. Mm-hmm. And you can just cut and paste, and they're not that hard to fill out for an application for a scholarship.
Yeah.
You know? Some of them are very specific to what you want to do when you go to college, but every $1,000 scholarship really helps you with your college. Yeah. And then, of course, we've got coming up April 20th and April 27th, Got Talent auditions. You want to tell us about that, Chuck?
Yeah, that's correct. Oh, hold on. Something's going on my screen here. So, so the Chewelah's Got Talent is, if you notice, there's posters heading up around town. We are getting sponsors for the show right now to get that prize money up. We are pretty close. We're just about $100 away from matching our prize money that we had in 2019 for our very last show.
Nice.
Hoping to really boost that up. If you're interested in donating, or your business wants to help out, and you didn't get one of those emails the other day, then go ahead and contact us here at the station. We would love to talk to you about it. So the sign-up deadline is April 15th, and the first round of auditions are April 20th. The second round are April 27th, with the final round of competition being May 4th.
Yes.
And we're going to have all kinds of acts going on. We're going to have costume contests for the audience, and there's going to be a prize for that.
And what kind of costume would that be?
That would be a Star Wars-themed contest because it is May the 4th.
May the 4th.
Yes, May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
It is Star Wars Day. And we have... I just totally lost my train of thought. So
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So we have we've got a few people signed up so far that have had some really interesting acts that we're looking forward to. We have one, a dairy-themed comedian. Ooh. She's going to be coming and doing some stand-up that is farm and dairy-based, which I think is going to be. I'm really interested to see.
Hopefully, it's clean and not poopy.
Right? No. She's she's gonna be great. I'm not gonna name any names yet because I want it to be a surprise. But we have, and this is something we need to figure out the logistics on, a fire act.
Oh,
so
wow.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to put up a screen inside for the audience during that show and have them do it out in the parking lot or out in the open field, Or
yeah, because I don't know if we can have open flames,
yeah.
in the building.
He said he might be able to do LED. It would kind of take away from the from sort of the effect. But if we need to do that for some kind of liability, or if we need to if there's a fire ban on, of course.
Oh yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. But exciting stuff. Yeah, we're getting quite a few people signing up, and it's exciting to see
the deadline for sign up is.
The deadline for that sign up is April 15th at 6 p.m.
Okay.
So hurry up. Those posters are out and about. You can go to CheweelasGotTalent.com, or you can go to, oops, I got an alarm going on. Yeah, you can go to CheweelasGotTalent.com or go to KCHW.org, and there's a link there also to sign up and get your name on the list.
Yeah, and you could get it on Facebook too. You can go to the Creative District on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to Cheweelas Got Talent. That's where I got my information, was off Facebook. So.
Yeah, there's a few different posts on our Facebook page about it. I know I've seen the Cheweelas Center for the Arts posted about it.
Right.
I'm getting stuff at the Wellpennant High School and Jenkins High School and the elementary schools. I'm getting the word spread out around there, and I've got the tribe helping out, spreading the word.
Good.
Because I know last time our winner was actually from Wellpennant, and a tribal member, and he was our winner. And I know they have phenomenal talent.
Yeah.
Over there, so really, really, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great event.
Yeah, and then the other thing that's coming up is the Art Skill Quilt Show. So if you have a quilt to display and would like to display, you could contact the Arts Guild, and that's the end of May. But it takes a while to build a quilt.
My mom made me one, and they gave it to me last year, and it took her about a year and a half, 2 years to make.
Yeah. If they're very, very intricate, it does take that kind of time.
This one, it drapes it touches the floor on. We have a king size bed, and it touches the floor on 3 sides of the bed.
Oh my goodness!
When it's fully pulled up.
Yeah.
While we're sleeping, it weighs about 30 pounds.
Keeps you warm.
Right, and it has the bottom of it's like soft and tufted and fluffy, and then it's got sugar skulls on it and all sorts of funky, fun colors. And
oh, how fun!
Yeah, it's really nice. Love you, Mom.
Yep. So we would really like it too if anybody who's listening has other things that we can. We want to highlight what's going on in Cheweelah on Wednesdays. That's our goal for Wednesday, local day.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you've got some big Boy Scout event or something, let us know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, and I would like to give a huge thank you to the Chamber of Commerce and Kiwanis and the Lions Club and everybody else who helped make the event over the weekend. The Spring Home and Garden Show was such a success. Great event.
Yeah.
Big lot of turnout.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, we had a great time. We were with the Jenkins High School cheerleading squad and the Easter Bunny out around the corner, in the back corner.
Oh yeah.
And we had it. We just went around and got some interviews with some of the participants and talked to some people involved. And
well, and with that and with the Wizard of Oz going on, we just have things going on in this community. There's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes,
there is.
There's no way to put everybody in one event, but there's enough events that everybody can go to something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, if you missed out on the Wizard of Oz show, it was spectacular.
It was.
I was so impressed.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What a great job everybody did.
Yeah. Melissa Keary and her husband Clint did the set.
Yeah.
Wasn't that amazing? A house that turned and landed on a witch and everything.
You had flying monkeys coming out of the sky.
Yeah. And a witch's castle and a yellow brick road.
Yeah. No, it was really well done, and I really loved and I appreciated the use of the theater. I've never seen that much of the space in the theater used before during a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was stage pieces built off to the side, going down the middle of the audience.
Yeah.
There was actual stuff happening.
All kinds of places.
Right down in the middle of the audience.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
Really, really fun.
Yeah. And it was amazing how quickly it got all put away on Sunday night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all gone.
That's one thing I was thinking. I was like, man, there's a lot of set pieces to this play, and it was It was really impressive. That house could probably be used for recycled and used for other stuff later
We are saving
on.
that house. We're doing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer next winter, and the classes will
okay.
start in September. And that will be Santa's house, and you'll open it up, and it'll be Santa's workshop. So we are using that house again. We'll
Yeah.
probably use it many times. Janet keeps wanting to do Oklahoma, and it'd be a great house in Oklahoma,
Oh,
too.
yes, it would. Yes,
Yeah.
it would. I have to say, I'm like, everybody did phenomenal, but there were a couple of standouts in there. The young man that played the Scarecrow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it was like I was watching the old movie.
Yeah,
He had
yeah.
the facial tics and everything just
and
down.
his body was so loose and
Yes.
everything. Yeah, that would be Frankie Setti. That's
Okay.
Paul and Jessica's son.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. That was great. And the guy that played the witch, she had like her fingers were all gnarled.
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
Yeah. Really,
Ellie
really well done.
Volz. Yeah, and she's normally played, like she's played in SpongeBob, and she's played just sweet characters. And Janet told her, this will be maybe your one time to really play really character,
Yeah.
an evil character. Yeah, she did great.
You could tell. I mean, after how many we went to the Sunday evening show, and how many shows had they done by that point?
12. That was their
12.
12th show.
Incredible, and they still
Yeah.
had the energy levels up, and you could tell they were just having a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the local kids, they did shows Thursday during the day and Friday during the day, 6 different shows, 3 each day.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a little over 600 kids from the local areas, from Wilpennett, Inchelium, Chewelah Valley, Summit Valley. All those schools brought kids to see that show.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And 61 local kids in the cast.
61 local kids. Yeah.
61. Wow.
Yeah.
I've seen bigger cities that didn't get that kind of involvement
yeah.
with their children's
Well,
theater.
bigger
so
cities don't have Janet.
That's true.
And
That's true.
We've got a rich treasure there.
All right. Well, we're pushing a little bit past our break here. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna thank our sponsors, and we'll be right back with some celebrity birthdays, some odd news.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yep. So come on. So stick around with us. We're gonna be right back. You're listening to the KCHW Morning Show. It is Wednesday with Chuck and Sharon.
It's 8:22.
Programming on KCHW is made possible in part by listeners like you and by
Country Chevrolet. Country Chevrolet, located at 880 South Main Street in Colville, is a full-service Chevrolet dealership, offering a wide range of new and pre-owned vehicles with at-home mobile test drive service available. In addition, Country Chevrolet also offers maintenance and service, vehicle rentals, and full auto detailing. More information is available at countrychevy.com or by calling 509-684-8400. KCHW would like to thank Country Chevrolet for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products, including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at CheweLaFlooring.com, Call 509-935-8021 or via email at chuilaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, March the 27th, 2024. I'm Mike Clifford. Groups supporting peace around the globe say the budget approved by the Congress is lacking crucial components. Our Eric Tegenoff explains.
After a months-long stalemate, Congress has approved the fiscal year 2024 budget, but Megan Rogers with the group Nonviolent Peace Force says there are cuts across the board that will impact humanitarian aid and civilian support. She says the bill also doesn't include language recognizing unarmed civilian protection, or UCP, a methodology that peacefully protects civilians in violent conflicts.
Any violent conflict that's making headlines today, there are UCP groups that are working and very effective, have access that other traditional aid groups don't, are equipping and protecting civilians that often go overlooked and disproportionately feel the effects of this violent conflict.
Rogers says UCP is used around the world and the U.S. government provides funds for groups that employ it.
And less than 2 years after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned the federal right to an abortion established by Roe v. Wade, Yahoo News reports the conservative majority court is about to weigh in on the issue yet again. They report this time the High Court will consider a case that centers around the FDA and their decision to loosen restrictions on how mifepristone, a drug widely used to induce abortions, can be prescribed and dispensed. During the hearing Tuesday, Justice Neil Gorsuch said the case seems like a prime example of turning what could be a small lawsuit into a nationwide legislative assembly on an FDA rule or any other federal government action. If the Supreme Court rules against the FDA, the drug could not be prescribed over telehealth visits, among other things. And new legislation proposed by Maine Governor Janet Mills would ensure thousands of farm workers are eligible to receive the state minimum wage.
Current law requires they be paid at least the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour compared to the state minimum wage of $14.15. But Maine AFL-CIO President Cynthia Finney says the bill still lacks protection from excessive forced overtime or the allowance for an unpaid rest break after 6 hours of work.
Those are things that other workers are entitled to already, and farm workers are not, and certainly farm workers work hard enough.
Finney says the legislation would require employers to keep records of their workers' hours and provide them with pay stubs. Some farmers have opposed the increase in wages and overtime protections, saying it could force them to cut workers' hours. Farm workers were intentionally excluded from benefits and protections in the National Labor Relations Act, which protects the rights of workers to unionize and collectively bargain. I'm Catherine Carley reporting.
If passed by lawmakers, the minimum wage for farm workers would take effect in September, the peak harvest time for Maine's blueberries and apple. This is Public News Service. The Bureau of Land Management has proposed expanding the public land available for solar power production in 11 states, including Montana.
The BLM's Western Solar Plan builds on the version first released in 2012 and focuses on harnessing the potential in Western and Plain states that are most amenable to solar production. The Montana Environmental Information Center's Nick Fitzmaurice says the expanded plan reflects the country's growing demand for solar energy.
It's projected that 700,000 acres of solar development are going to be needed to meet future clean energy goals, and in the range of about 5,000 of those acres are going to be in Montana. So it's a small part of the picture, but important that all our open land that is able to contribute to solar can do so.
The Wilderness Society released a statement supporting the proposed Western Solar Plan expansion. The BLM is taking public comment on it until April 18th. I'm Mark Moran.
Congress just avoided a partial government shutdown by approving a budget into this fall, but a new blueprint is renewing debate about a key safety net program.
For the 2025 fiscal year, a House caucus made up of more than 170 Republican lawmakers has issued its proposed outline. One provision calls for raising the retirement age for Social Security eligibility to account for increases in life expectancy. Nancy Altman with the group Social Security Work says, like past suggestions from the caucus, this should be considered a non-starter, arguing it essentially amounts to a cut.
You never catch up. Even if you work till age 70, your benefit's going to be about 7% lower than it is under current law.
There was no specific higher age outline, but AARP North Dakota also sounded the alarm about the plan, urging its members to demand no cuts. I'm Mike Moen.
Finally, from our Nadia Ramlagan, the benefit payments that minors sick with black lung receive aren't keeping pace with the cost of living.
He adds lagging benefits are especially troubling when minors are increasingly developing black lung at younger ages, largely due to exposure to toxic silica dust.
Younger minors are getting diagnosed with stage 3 black lung, and they're having to quit mining in their 30s or 40s. So they're losing, possibly 20 years, 30 years of work history. They're not able to draw down that retirement fund.
Around 16% of the nation's coal workers are living with black lung, and after decades of improvement, the number of cases is on the rise again, according to the American Lung Association. One National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health study found are more likely than their predecessors to die from coal workers' pneumoconiosis, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and lung cancer.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Here's our great radio stations, your favorite podcast platform. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
KCHW 102.7. We make it so easy to listen to Northern Lights Public Radio. Of course, in your car. Online through our websites at kchw.org or northernlightspublicradio.com. We're on your smartphone, too. Use the Radio Deck or TuneIn app. And now we're even on Amazon. If you've got the new Amazon Echo with the Alexa app, just say, "Alexa, play KCHW," and boom, you're there. We're mixing it up. Old school radio or new modern technology. It's always KCHW 102.7.
And welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. It is Wednesday, March 27th, and we're here with myself, Chuck Ritchie, and Sharon Ludwig.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning again.
Yes.
Yeah, welcome back. Ooh, pardon me, I got a little thing in my throat here. Ooh. Yeah, so, we did the, you had some local announcements. I guess we were off the air for a couple of minutes, so pardon us for that.
We're sorry about that.
I think we stayed good online, but over the airwaves here, I think we lost a couple minutes. But
yeah.
We're back on and good to go. Trying to figure out what that was about. So, pardon me for just a second. I need to take a drink of water here. Wow. So let's go ahead, Sharon, and head on back to our prep sheet.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and start things off with some celebrity birthdays.
All right. Go to the top. So Michael York from Logan's Run and Romeo and Juliet is 82. Director Quentin Tarantino is 60. But it says is 61. That doesn't make sense.
Well, he's Quentin Tarantino, so Quentin Tarantino can do what Quentin Tarantino wants to do.
I guess so. Polly Parrott from NCIS is 55. Now, is she the one that played the forensic girl?
Yes.
I just loved her.
Yeah, she was really great.
Yeah.
55. She seems so much younger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria Carey is 55, which I thought she was much younger than that, and you thought she was older.
Yeah, we were joking around about that. I'm like, man. Yeah.
Nathan Fillion from Castle and Firefly is 53. Mm-hmm. These 50-year-olds look like they're 30 to me because I'm a little bit older than that.
They do. They do. And Firefly, anyone who's a brown coat knows what I'm talking about. It's a fan of the show Firefly. It was canceled after its only one season.
Oh, really?
And it sort of became a cult hit. They made a movie later that was really, really well done called Serenity.
Yeah.
It's one of those that fans are still angry that it was a great sci-fi show and it was canceled after only one season.
Wow.
So
fashion designer Kendra Scott is 50. Singer Jessie J is 36, and Haley Bailey is from the Little Mermaid, the 2023's Little Mermaid, is 24. So
Nice.
she's just a baby.
She is. She is. Still haven't heard it. I still haven't seen that one yet, but it's on my to-do list. So these are some things that happened today. In 1952, the musical Singin' in the Rain premiered in New York City.
Oh, I love that song. Or
Yeah.
that musical. Yes.
And then, that's 1952. That's, that
Yeah.
was, I remember that in childhood,
Yeah.
watching, there was the, was it the musical, the movie premiered in New York
Right.
City. Was it also a Broadway musical, or was it just the movie?
I don't know, but yeah.
I don't know. I can still picture him jumping up and down off those park benches and going around the light posts. And,
And when they, the three of them are dancing and they dance up on the couch and it folds over.
Yes.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
one dances up the side of the wall. And yeah, it's a great show.
It really was.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Then 1970, the Concorde made its first supersonic flight. That's cool.
Yeah.
1973, The Godfather won the Academy Award for the Best Picture of 1972, but star Marlon Brando refused to accept the Oscar for Best Actor, and Liza Minnelli won Best Actress for Cabaret.
I wonder why he wouldn't accept it. I would think that would be quite an honor.
I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I remember hearing something recently about that. He actually, wasn't that when he sent a Native American woman up to take the award in his place?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
then 1998, the Food and Drug Administration approved Viagra for use as a treatment for male impotence, the first pill to be approved for this condition in the United States.
Yep.
I was working at a company around that time, shortly after high school, in the summer between freshman and sophomore year of college. I was working with a gentleman. He was a truck driver. It was a moving company I was working for. And he quit one day. And he came into the office, and he had been working in this company forever. Not quite retirement age, but he came in and quit. And everyone asked him, well, what's going on? Did you get hired somewhere else? And he said, no, I'm retiring. I'm rich. And everyone was like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I invested some money into this company, into a product called Viagra.
Oh my!
And he was one of the early investors in Viagra, one of the early stockholders.
Wow!
And man, he just got rich overnight.
Huh?
Yeah, it was crazy. And he went and built himself a great big house and bought a bunch of cars, and still to this day, I believe, living large off of it.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah. Then 1999, Bill Monty of Bridgeport, Connecticut, boiled 6,000 eggs for his neighborhood Easter egg hunt in 10 minutes. He boiled the eggs inside a mesh bag in a large washing machine in his dry cleaning shop.
Oh, that's quite inventive.
I can't get half a dozen eggs in my pan at once without at least one of them breaking.
Yeah.
How did he do that?
Okay, we're skipping the next one.
Yeah, we're gonna skip this one. 2007, NFL owners now voted to make instant replay a permanent officiating tool. That was good.
Yeah.
2014, doctors announced that a 3D printed plastic skull was successfully used to replace part of a woman's real skull in an operation 3 months ago in the Netherlands.
Wow.
Not 3 months ago. This
That's when
date
they
in
announced
2014, 3 months previous to this date.
Yeah.
And now my head is spinning. Okay, 2020, a $2.2 trillion stimulus package, the largest in U.S. history, was signed into law by the president. Then in 2022, the slap heard round the world happened at the Academy Awards after comedian Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's bald head. Her actor husband Will Smith walked on stage and violently slapped the comedian in the face. After returning to his seat, Smith screamed at Rock not to target his wife with jokes. I don't believe those were the words he used, but it was something to that extent.
Wow.
Yeah. So go ahead and tell us our special events for the day.
Okay, it is American Red Cross Giving Day. We give a lot at Christmas time. We don't think about how much is needed all the rest of the year. So it's good to have a giving day during, after Christmas during the springtime.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's a whole day for Whole Grain Day. Oh, that's kind of a play on words.
I like that.
Yeah, International Whiskey Day.
Which it kind of goes along with Grain Day.
I guess so. Yeah. Joe Day. Does that mean that your name has to be Joe to have it your day? I know a couple of Joes.
Right? Hey, Joe. Happy day. To
you.
All the Joes.
Yep. Scribble Day. Quirky.
That's just my handwriting.
Oh, yeah. And Yeah, when I can't read their writing, I ask them if they're practicing to be a doctor.
I saw a post yesterday online. Apparently, a new study came out that said that messy handwriting has been equated with higher intelligence levels because your brain moves faster than your hands can keep up with.
Oh wow!
And it translates into bad handwriting because your coordination with your brain and your physical coordination with your hand, your brain moves faster than your hands.
Huh. I just always thought it was because you were sloppy.
And my thinking was, man, I must be a secret genius.
Yes.
Because nobody can read my handwriting.
It's Quirky Country Music Song Titles Day. And some of the country music has quirky song titles, yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And it's World Theater Day, which is great after a weekend of theater here in Chewelah.
It really is. World Theater Day. I love that. That should be every day.
Yes.
Yeah. I know you and I don't need to start talking about theater, especially if we had Scott here with us, man. We just spend the rest of the show talking about theater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think it's just an excellent thing for kids to be involved in, adults to be involved. It's just a great area.
Oh,
yeah.
I agree. And I wanted to have someone from Wizard of Oz on the show before the show, but we had guests scheduled already, and
yeah,
I'd like to get on top of that in the future and really get some.
Yeah, because Scott used to do that. He
Yeah.
would have the cast or the director or special people come in.
And I was going to reach out and see if someone could come on maybe on a Thursday or Friday of last week, but the timing ran out. But
yeah.
But in the future, we'll have you guys.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So the number of the day is 20,000. Can you guess what number that is, Sharon?
Well, I'm reading it.
That is the number of parking spaces in the world's largest parking lot, which is the West Edmonton Mall in Alberta, Canada.
Years ago, I was a Girl Scout leader, and we took our Girl Scouts on a 3-week camping trip up through Canada, and we ended up at the Edmonton Mall, and we came back down. We saw all these sites. There is a lake in the middle of that mall that also has dolphins in it, and has 3 little submarines that you can go down in. There's an amusement park in there that the kids you could spend a long time in that mall and never see everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
A parking lot that size, that's probably bigger than Chewelah.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Wow.
I do think, and I know they were doing some community input sessions at the Civic Center for a while back for trying to figure out some of the parking, some of the street issues we've been having in Chewelah. And one of the things they brought up was, a lot of people in Chewelah like to say, oh, there's no parking available. But we're so used to being able to park right in front of where we want to go that if we have to park a block away, it seems, because we're so accustomed to it, it seems like, oh, man, that's a long way away. But you think about parking even at just a Walmart or something.
Right.
You're going to be walking, half from one end of downtown to the other, and that's a decent parking spot anywhere else.
I wonder if they have a little shuttle that goes around and takes you in.
Right. So I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine a parking lot that size. That would be like parking at the golf course to come to the.
Yeah.
To go to Valley Drug.
Yeah, I've learned to take pictures of, like, when I go to the airport, take a picture of where my car's at, which numbers and everything. And so I think with your phone, I think that you'd have to do that there too. Because can you imagine losing your car?
We do that too, but then you go, you park your car and you go on vacation and you come back and you have to scroll through all those pictures to find out that picture that you parked. It's like, man, oh man. Yeah. All right, go ahead. What time is it? 8:43. Let's go ahead and head on to the news attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
A Tennessee factory was busted for employee kids as young as 14. Oh, this is the part where...
Yeah, the first part of this is a true story. The second part is a badly written joke.
Yeah. Apparently in Tennessee, Take Your Child to Work Day is just called Monday. I guess.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, because he was busted for employing young kids.
As young as 14? Yeah, I guess so. A study found that fish living near wastewater treatment plants were found to contain various medicines designed to treat cholesterol, allergies, high blood pressure, bipolar disorder, and depression. Well, Mrs. Paul's fish sticks are now prescription only.
So let's go round robin on these.
Okay, that sounds really good.
Yeah. So a fast-growing segment of marijuana buyers is people 65 and older. So grandma's new baking ingredient? It's not love. It's cannabis.
Yeah.
Grandma.
Yeah. According to a report, Americans' reading proficiency is declining at troubling rates. On the other hand, we have remarkably proficient remote control thumbs.
I think my reading proficiency is declining along with my eyesight.
Oh, yeah.
Not so much my ability to read it, it's my ability to see it.
And I think that the writing has changed too, just because of all of our shortcuts that we use, Yeah.
Oh, I get on a computer and I get frustrated because it doesn't autocorrect like my phone does.
Yeah.
I'm like, you mean I have to actually spell the whole word? Yeah.
But it underlines it in red, so you know you made a mistake.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
What's going to happen if we lose all of our technology?
Well, it'll be hard for a little while, and then
I think we'll manage.
Yeah, we'll manage.
We did it before with less knowledge than we have now, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, and some people would be just sitting, waiting for it to all come back on.
Right?
Yeah, they won't know what to do.
The great thing is, if that does happen, all the people that sat around, scrolling through the internet and learning all kinds of stuff can actually be put to use.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Did you do the last one?
I did.
Okay.
Reading proficiency.
So a study finds you can improve the mental health of children by holding them back from starting kindergarten for a year and keeping them at home. Of course, that's not going to do much for the mental health of the parents.
But I really agree with this one because, I've read some studies and kids aren't, especially boys, aren't really ready to learn to read till they're a little older than we put them in school. Some boys aren't really mature enough to read till they're between 8 and 11, and we put them in at 5.
Right. Because girls are generally more mature than boys.
Yeah,
and that goes
on the
goes all through
academic
adulthood.
stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, funny.
I know that we moved when I was a kid during my kindergarten year, and I started kindergarten in one school district, and we moved, and the new school district was like, you are too young to be starting school. I think I was 4 or 5 when I started kindergarten, then we moved to the new school district, and they went to enroll me in the new school, and they're like, you can't start school yet. And I remember there was a thing, the new school district was like, who is the school district that's letting you start kindergarten at 4 years old? That's not acceptable. So,
wow.
And it messed up the timing because my birthday is in the summer before school started. So I was a year old. After that point, I ended up being a year older than everyone else in class. So
we had a couple of August birthdays, a couple of our kids, and we started them a year late because I figured a month before school starts, they're 4.
Right.
So we waited until the very next year when they were 5 to start.
That's exactly what happened. So, like, my birthday was the cutoff date, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so I was technically the same age as everybody in my class, but only just. And then the next year, I was a year older than everybody else again, but also only just.
Yeah. Well, and Gino taught middle school for years, and he said that you really see the difference in middle school. The kids that are on the younger scale are the followers, and the kids that are on the older scale are the leaders.
Yeah.
Now, that's a general thing. That's not always. And he said the same with sports. They're a little more mature, so they're better at sports. And some of the younger ones, they peak out after they get out of high school with their sporting ability, you know. So it doesn't hurt them to start a little late. Doesn't hurt them at all.
I will have to say the worst part was never having able to have cupcakes for my birthday in school.
Oh, me too. I was a June birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there were a lot of times, when, especially in Washington and down in the Tri-Cities when I started school, their school started earlier than where we moved to Alaska. It seemed like every single year the school started on my birthday. The day of my birthday was like 3 years in a row was the first day of school.
So you couldn't just show up with cupcakes?
Right. That would because there was they got stuff to do and the teachers are busy and everyone's getting situated and they don't want to deal with that stuff on the first day of school. So
right.
Everybody else got the cupcakes, not Chuck. Womp womp womp.
Yeah, a study sponsored by the tea industry said that drinking tea can lower your risk of having a heart attack. This is especially true if lifting a tea bag out of a cup of boiling water is the only exercise you get.
Oh, and this one. So Donald Trump, he's selling God Bless USA Bibles for $60. The only man who thinks the Last Supper needed more gold plating.
We're not even going to talk about him anymore.
Yep, that's a good idea. Let's move on.
Fox News is blaming the bridge collapse, not on the barge that hit it, but on the border crisis. The Fox anchors also want to know the gender of the barge. Now, that's kind of funny. Not laughing funny, but kind of strange funny.
How in the world on the border? I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, well, we're blaming everything. We either blame it on COVID or the border crossing, or you got to blame everything on something.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, have you just to switch gears? Have you seen the video of the bridge collapsing?
I saw just a still picture of it, and I was amazed. How did
it was horrific.
The barge even think he could get underneath the bridge?
Well, the power went out in the barge.
Oh no!
They were having power issues, and they couldn't control their steering.
Oh.
And they attempted to. You could see in the video the lights were flickering off and on. So the lights went off, and then they came on, and you could sort of see them trying to reverse course. And then I think I don't know the whole story. This is just my guess, because right about that point the lights came on. You could see the water churning behind the boat. It's obvious they were trying to do something.
Right.
And then from where the engines, where the smokestacks were, a bunch of black smoke started pouring out. So my guess is that they were trying so hard to reverse course that they blew their engines. That's my guess. I don't know if that's true or not.
Right.
But that's from what it looks like happened.
Oh,
We'll find out the real story. But yeah, they hit that post, and just immediately like matchsticks, that whole bridge just collapsed. It was really, really terrifying.
Yeah.
And man, just really tough time for folks in Baltimore right now dealing with that. Yeah.
Right.
Horrible stuff.
Horrible. Yeah.
All right, so we've got about 10 minutes left. Let's go ahead before we head out here, and we will do the Wacky But True, and this is where these are 100% true story, no stupid joke, and no sound effects either.
Are these the news and nuggets? Is that what we're doing?
It's under Wacky But True.
Okay, let me go to the top and
see.
Wacky But True. There
I'll go ahead and get us started here. Daring escape from a Venezuelan prison has the country on high alert as authorities search for the dangerous inmate who managed to trick guards by disguising himself as a woman. The 25-year-old prisoner serving time for homicide and aggravated robbery seemingly walked out of the prison with the help of a wig and female clothing following a conjugal visit. Surveillance video captured the shocking moment when the prisoner blended with a group of women leaving the facility at the end of visiting hours. The brazen escape has sparked an investigation into prison guards who failed to recognize the deception.
Wow. I wonder what happened to the woman that was visiting him that brought that stuff.
Did she dress up as him and stay there?
Yeah. Interesting.
That's
and that seems like it would be an offense worthy of being in jail.
Being in jail herself,
yeah.
So he traded his freedom for hers. That's
what a rotten guy.
Such a lovely guy.
Yeah.
After murder and aggravated robbery. Jeez.
Well,
anyway.
Police charged a 25-year-old New Jersey man with second-degree aggravated assault and use of a weapon, specifically a USB flash drive. Apparently, Cameron Cole was fighting with another man in his home when a witness called police. The on-scene investigation determined that Cole struck the victim with a small metal object, determined to be a USB flash drive, causing lacerations to the victim's neck and arm.
Ooh. They say the pen is mightier than the sword. Is that flash drives are kind of our new pen?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Wow. This one, an Australian man went over 30 hours stuck in an underground drain in Brisbane. Initially claiming he entered the drain to retrieve his phone, authorities later revealed that the man had actually hidden there following a car crash with a police vehicle.
Oh, my.
Wow. A passerby heard the man's distressed cry and reported the situation to police. He was rescued by firefighters and treated for minor injuries and hypothermia.
I've just finished reading the book about the 13 rescue, the soccer team that went in a cave a few years back, and they were in there for a few weeks, and then all of them were rescued.
Mm-hmm.
And I just finished reading that book for book club. Man, very interesting.
And those were the kids, right?
Those were the kids.
Yeah.
And their coach. Yeah.
I remember that story as it was unfolding. And
Me
that
too.
I think the whole world was on edge for that one.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then when they were able to go, and that was such a huge,
Yeah.
What a great, not a great story, but a great ending to what could have been
Yeah.
a really, really bad situation. And at the time we didn't know what was happening, and we weren't sure if anyone was going to make it out.
It made me not ever want to go in a cave. That's for
Right.
sure. All right. A couple in Poland, mystified by the recurring smell of urine around their garbage, set up video surveillance and caught a neighbor in the act of splashing a jug full of urine on their garage door. The man was subsequently jailed for 22 days. His anger stemmed from the couple calling local officials about his illegal cheese-making operation, which he ran out of his own garage. They had complained about the lights being on at all hours and a constant, unusual odor. Well, that's kind of a rotten way to get back at your neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you want garage cheese?
No.
I think that's probably, it depends. Was he selling it? Was he just making his own cheese?
I don't know.
If he's
It says illegal.
If you're making your own cheese, I guess, if your neighbor's making his own cheese, mind your own business, I guess. But if he's trying to sell it, then
Yeah.
I don't know. In the UK, a man was visiting his aunt when he told her he was going for a drive to pick up a newspaper. Unfortunately, though, he wasn't familiar with the roads in the area and soon became hopelessly lost. He drove around for hours trying to find his way back before he finally ran out of gas. And then the police found him walking along the road looking for a gas station 2 counties away from where he started. He never did find that newspaper.
That is funny.
Have you ever gotten lost?
Not very often.
I don't know.
I have a pretty good sense of direction, so I have not.
I have a terrible sense of direction. I've gone hours in the wrong direction before realizing, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
I need to turn
No,
around.
I was 10 or 11, and we did a lot of traveling. My mom would take us traveling, and I was the map reader.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time I was 12, I was getting us everywhere, and we went with my aunt and uncle somewhere, and my uncle kept insisting we were going wrong, and I had that map, and I was right.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Well, that's we were talking about technology and what we're going to do if it ever goes away. I think a lot of people, myself included, rely on the maps on our phones.
Oh yeah,
a little too heavily.
Yeah, that little GPS that tells you you're here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And one time I was heading to work at a job I was doing in Tennessee, and I had to pick up a coworker that I had been to his house one time before, in an area I was unfamiliar with, and I was going to go pick him up because he needed a ride again the next day, and I went to go pick him up and thought, oh, I got this, and I had his address up on my phone. A lot of back roads, a lot of really sort of out of the way areas in rural Tennessee, and I lost my phone signal. And I had no idea where I was going. And I'm like, I think this is the right way, and I didn't have a phone signal. I couldn't call him. I didn't have any internet. I'm like, oh, I got this. We're good. And I kept driving, and I ended up about 2 counties away by the time, because I kept trying to turn around to retrace my steps. And it's all the roads there are like a maze.
Yeah.
And I kept taking the wrong road. And I'm like, well, this doesn't look familiar. So I turn around and take another road. And by the time I was able to get some sort of signal back, I was so lost, I didn't even know, even with the map, I'm like, I don't even know where I'm supposed to be right now. So we both ended up being about 2 hours late for work that day.
When my kids were little and we'd go to Grandma's, who Gino's folks lived right here in town, and somebody'd say, this isn't the way, and I'd say, all roads lead to Grandma's in Chihuahua. You can get on any road and you can get to Grandma's house.
That is true. I do find it comforting here with my lack of directions that we have the one highway.
Oh, yeah.
And no matter what, of course, I know my way around here pretty well.
Yeah.
But no matter what, when I first moved here, I could always find home because it was there. You could go one way or the other.
Yeah.
And in about 5 minutes, even if you took the wrong way, you knew which way to head. And I mean, it's kind of hard to go the wrong way here.
Yeah. When I was a teenager and we moved to Deer Park, my mom got lost in Deer Park. And it kind of made me realize why she had me be the map reader.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could read it and get us where we had to go.
And my wife gets frustrated with me because I do use the maps. on the phone, and a lot of times the maps don't take you the best route.
No, they don't.
Yeah, sometimes they
No.
take you in really weird roundabout ways. And,
Yeah.
I'll put my address in and I'll hook it up to the Bluetooth in the car and set it down. And my wife is like, well, why don't you find the better route? It's taking you all over the place. And she's like, if you just look at the map. And I'm like, I'm driving. I don't have time to look at the map.
Oh, yeah.
So I just go where it tells me.
Yeah.
And
and we call that little person gun Hilda, who tells us where to go.
Yeah.
And I was in Utah one time with my daughter, and it said, "You are here." And I'm going, okay, this is an industrial area. This is not where my son lives. But Heather said, oh, but I know how to get there, how to get to David's house from here. It was a couple miles away, but we got there,
Wow.
But it was like, we were not there.
I have a name I call the lady on the phone that gives the voices and that tells you directions, and I don't think I can say that on the air.
Oh.
Yeah. Not always. Sometimes she's great. But Sharon, that about wraps us up for today.
It's been quick.
This was a really quick show.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Sharon, for coming here today, and thank you everyone for listening. You can catch us right here tonight. Let's see here. So what day is today? Today's Wednesday. Right here tonight, we have Music for the Mountain from 6 to 8 p.m. 8 to 10, we have Dirt Road Blues with our very own Dirt Road Doug live
Which he
in the
always
studio.
has such a good show.
He is enjoyable, and I've said it before on the air. You can feel his energy and his spirit coming through. He's so enthusiastic about the music.
Yeah,
he's fun to listen to. And there are times when I have to come in, I'll forget something in the station, and I'll come in the door, and he's got the music cranked up, and he's just standing up, just dancing, and having the time of his life, just enjoying it. And it comes through on the air. So if you haven't listened to his show, he's got some great music. He really tries hard to vary things up a little bit. Check it out, Dirt Road Blues, live here in the studio from 8 to 10 p.m. Then from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., we have Planetary Radio, Sea Change Radio, Echo Shock, Total, which comes from the SETI Institute, which is the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. And then today's episode of Earth Date.
Wow.
So there you go. Tune in tonight.
And I'm sound asleep during those, so I've not heard them.
Any events people should be aware of this evening, Sharon?
I don't know.
I don't think so. There's that soft pickleball at the old middle school from 9 to 11:30.
Yeah.
And then tech help over at the library.
Yeah. And sit in it at the center. And
there you go.
And go support your kids and watch their ball games, whatever they're playing in.
There you go. And don't forget, Shweda's Got Talent.
That's
go to
right.
Shweda'sGotTalent.com or KCHW.org and get on there. We are getting some really cool acts signed up. Put yourself on there. Even if you're a little hesitant, you know what? Show us what you got. You might surprise yourself.
Well, and we've had people that were as young as 8 or 9, and we've had people as old as, I don't know how old we've had them, but they've been old.
Yep.
So if you got a talent, we want to see it.
And you know what I like to tell people if they're a little hesitant to sign up? If they think, oh, I'd like to do it, but I'm not very good, I say, don't worry. No matter how bad you think you are, somebody else will be worse. That's not true. Nobody's bad. All the acts are going to be great. Once again, thank you so much for listening. This has been our KCHW Morning Show. We'll be back tomorrow morning with myself and Scott. You guys have a great day, and thank you for listening to KCHW 102.7.
It's 9:03.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW-FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
And by Chewelah Flooring.
Chewelah Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chewelah Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at ChewelahFlooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at ChewelahFlooring@gmail.com.
Programming on KCHW is made possible in part by listeners like you and by
Country Chevrolet. Country Chevrolet, located at 880 South Main Street in Colville, is a full-service Chevrolet dealership, offering a wide range of new and pre-owned vehicles with at-home mobile test drive service available. In addition, Country Chevrolet also offers maintenance and service, vehicle rentals, and full auto detailing. More information is available at countrychevy.com or by calling 509-684-8400. KCHW would like to thank Country Chevrolet for supporting public radio in Stevens County.